First, prayers to my mother, my father, and my guru. Finally, to all those who are watching this episode. Welcome to KP's Storytime. We were talking about Ramayana, the biography of Rama written by sage Valmiki. You may be wondering, I've explained in the previous episodes also that I first offer prayers to my mother, father, and then to Guru, and also Atiti Devo Bhava, to the guests that I have here. Why mother and father to be offered prayers first? Because they are the living gods. You may believe, you may not believe in God. You won't see a God. But these are the living gods because they have given the birth to you. We have to give them the due respect. How many of us have time to talk to them every day? We always have time for everything else. But when it comes to parents, we say, fine, I'll call them during the weekend. In any relationship, there is a barter system, expectations, and you have to give and take. The only relationship that does not have that kind of a requirement is mother's love and father's love. If that is the case, when they are giving so much love and the mere existence of us is by them, can't we spend 2 minutes every day? Just call them and then say, I'm safe. How are you doing? I love you. Just 3 words. Look at how much happy they will be. Our health is 100% is fully dependent on the state of our mind. If we are happy, our health gets improved. That's a free medicine for anyone. Why can't we extend that to the parents? It's just 2 minutes effort. Please, whoever is seeing this message, I ask them, if your parents are alive, please call them. If your parents are not alive, just think about them. Imagine their picture. And imagine that they are still standing before you. And talk to them. Say, thank you. It is not that whether they are listening that or not, whether they are alive or not, but your next generation is seeing it. You are giving culture to the next generation. You are giving them the way to respect parents, respect teachers. That's the best thing you can give. The values. First, give values to your next generation. You don't need them to be scholars. Who taught a bird to fly? Who taught a fish to swim? Who taught all these animals? Who taught the plant to grow and give fruits, flowers at a particular time? They did not go to any university. I'm not saying that we should not be studying, we should not be educated. Please do not misunderstand me. Education, every minute is an opportunity to learn something. every minute we have to understand, did I get any value to myself? If not, I wasted time. So knowledge is important. But with that, is that the only thing that is needed? Knowledge without values, that is Ravana. Knowledge with values is Rama. That's the basic difference. Rama respected his parents. Ravana, we have not seen anywhere said that he respected his parents. Of course, he respected his mother. Because of that only he got all the powers. Mother's blessings are the best asset anyone can have. Ravana has that. Mother's blessings. So please spend 2 minutes every day, if not at least whatever frequency you think is possible. Call them, remember them, whatever it is, and then make them happy. Take their blessings. That's why I offer my prayers first to my parents. Coming back to the story, last week we discussed about Rama was upset as Sugriva was not doing anything. He is just immersed in his celebrations. And Rama is everything to Lakshmana, so Lakshmana also gets upset. It's multifold. If Rama's anger was 1 unit, Lakshmana's anger was 10 units, because it is multiplied by the love he has on Rama. That's why if you look at the riots, the politicians, the leaders, they install a small issue and they start a fire. Then his first line of followers will take it 10x. The next line, it becomes 100x. They go out and spoil everything. They burn the places. They loot places. So leaders are supposed to be very, very careful. They cannot give any bad warnings or any bad opinions. So here Rama was worried about Sita's being, Sita's safety, and he was hearing all the celebration noise from Sugriva's place. The rainy season was also over. Rama was not able to see any preparations made by Sugriva, so he was upset. He expressed it to Lakshmana, and Lakshmana has made it tenfold. He went to Sugriva's palace. Everyone was afraid. So we have talked about how Tara subsided his anger, and when Lakshmana cooled down, that's when Sugriva comes out. Immediately Lakshmana sees him and he starts using harsh words at him. He says, you forgot your friend. You are immersed in your happiness. You promised us that you will help us in searching Sita. Rainy season is over. We are not seeing any preparations that you are making. Anyone who takes favors from someone and does not return is not a proper person. He goes in the history as a very bad person. And also he says the path through which Vali was sent is not yet closed. Rama can send you that. So look at, even though Tara has calmed down Lakshmana so much, still as soon as Lakshmana saw Sugriva, his rage went up. Whatever was in his mind, he said it. Don't we have the same experience? We'll be imagining some conversation with some people, especially when we are angry. We will be thinking about, oh, if I will go, I see that guy, I will say this. If he says this, I will do this. If he says this, I will do this. And already you have programmed your mind for that. Even though the circumstances change there, still somehow or the other this feeling comes out. That's why we have to program our mind in such a way that we do not rehearse anything bad in our mind. Here, Lakshmana had those feelings. Lakshmana went there to use harsh words at Sugriva, all of that. And Tara used her all techniques to calm him down. He actually reminded Lakshmana about Vishwamitra and how he was enjoying with Menaka for 10,000 years, and when he is such an educated, learned person, such a sage, he could fall for a girl who is Sugriva. So she has given all the reasoning. Lakshmana got cooled down. He said, yeah, I know, I'm sorry, I shouted. But still, when he saw Sugriva, his subconscious mind kicked in and he used all those harsh words. What happened? Now Sugriva is standing here. All his wives were surrounding him. All his immediate followers, all of them were there. And he has been pronounced as the king. What is happening to his image? So, when we are conversing, we have to look at the surroundings. And the damage is multiplied. The damage that we make is multiplied by the circumstances. We have a saying, a husband was shouting at the wife. If they were alone, it is just 1x. But if any one of her friends or her parents, someone was present at that point, it becomes multifold. The insult becomes multifold. Here, Sugriva has established himself as the king. Everyone was respecting him. He was enjoying. All of a sudden, Lakshmana comes and then he says that we can kill you. You are nothing. And you are you are disobedient to your friends, and you take favors, but you never return the favors. So he was using all of that, and so what happens to Sugriva's image? If Sugriva takes that and starts arguing with Lakshmana, it is not going to solve the problem. One has to get down. So Sugriva comes to Lakshmana and says, I'm sorry. First thing, apologies. And then he says, Lakshmana, Rama is such a warrior. His one arrow has cut 7 strongest trees, went into the earth, came out. It has smashed the mountains around and went back to him. When he can send such arrow, imagine the power of Rama. Does it really need me? He can easily kill Ravana, no matter what. But he is giving me an opportunity to serve him. When we think that we are the only one who can do this, or we are the ones who did this, in this world no one is indispensable. Once, it's a joke, once a wife asked a husband, if I were not born, who would have married? So be respectful to me. Then the husband said, if you were not born, I would have married your mother. That means nothing stops in this world for anyone. No one is indispensable. Never think that you have done something. I'm not saying that word. I'm saying this statement because I don't want anyone to get the arrogance of doing something. I'm not insisting. I'm not saying that you should be depressed by saying that, oh, I did not do anything, I can't do it. That's not the case. There is a subtle line between your confidence and overconfidence. Humble and arrogance. You can be humble saying that, oh, this is all done by the grace of the God. You're giving the credit to God. That's humble. Yes, if I only could do it, if I were not there, this could not have happened. That's arrogance. If you were not there, someone else would be there to complete the work. So here, Sugriva was also saying that, Lakshmana, I'm not needed for Rama at all. He's just giving me an opportunity to serve him. How can I forego that? And he started praising Rama. What is he achieving by praising Rama at that point? Why should he praise Rama before Lakshmana? Because Lakshmana was angry. How can I reduce that? By praising someone who is close to him, someone whom he respects. So as soon as Sugriva started praising Rama, Lakshmana was getting calmed down. Also, around Sugriva, whoever was there, Sugriva did not want to get more insulted. If he argues, Lakshmana can go even further and he can even insult him even more. So, damage control. Then Lakshmana realized what the situation was. He made some damage to the image of Sugriva. Now he has to build it back. Immediately, he says, Sugriva, I have seen only my brother and you who are so strong but still are humble. If Lakshmana did not say that, all his followers, wives, everyone would be thinking that, okay, Lakshmana and Rama are so powerful, Sugriva is so submissive to them, Lakshmana is using harsh words, still Sugriva is not retaliating. And his image will go down. That's why Lakshmana carefully uses the words and says, Sugriva, you are equal to Rama as far as the power, strength and the fighting spirits are all concerned. Yet, you both are humble. I have not seen anyone else being so humble, even they are strong. That means he is again constructing or repairing the image of Sugriva because of Lakshmana's anger. In the real life also, when first of all, we should make sure that we are not insulting anyone. And if we have done that, immediately we have to realize and start repairing it for them. So, Lakshmana still says, you are needed for taking care of Ravana and getting Sita. We can't do it alone. We need your help. Again, establishing the give and take relationship. Then he says, please come with me and console your friend. Every word we have to consider and see why that word was used. Why don't Lakshmana say, oh, come console my brother, come console Rama, or come console Sita's husband. Instead, he said, please come and console your friend. Is Rama first friend to Sugriva and then brother to Lakshmana? No. And Rama is everything to Lakshmana. Still, he said, Sugriva, please come with me and console your friend. He is again establishing that we are friends to you. You are our best friend. You are equal to Rama. We need your help. Come over. Repairing the image. Second step. So when we are in such situation, we have to remember this conversation and say, oh, I damaged this. Immediately, how can I contain that damage? Secondly, how can I rebuild it? And thirdly, how can I re-establish the trust, the relationship that we had earlier? That's what Lakshmana is doing here. Then Sugriva says he is ready to come, and then the final thing Lakshmana says, Sugriva, I was carried away by Rama's sadness. Rama was worried about Sita, and because of that I lost my temper. I used harsh words. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. That's the final step of repairing a bad relationship. At that point, Lakshmana is first Sugriva apologized, then Lakshmana praised him, Lakshmana equated him to Rama, and then he said, hey, you are the most humble persons I have seen, saying that, proving to the rest of the people there that even though Sugriva is humble, it is not because of his cowardness, it is because his nature, but he's strong. So you guys cannot take away his pride. And finally he said, I was carried away by the emotions of Rama, and so I used harsh words. I apologize. Please forgive me. There ends that incident. So in our lives also we encounter all such all such things, whether it is with friends, especially with spouse, or with the kids. We have to know and retract at the right time to keep that relationship going. Then Sugriva calls Hanuma and tells him that find the strongest people in our army. I mean, when I say people, strongest monkeys in our army, our strongest followers. Send them all the corners of this earth. Summon every monkey on this earth to come to Kishkinda, to the Prasravanagiri where Rama is there, within 10 days. If they are not here within 10 days, they will be sentenced to death. Is there not a disconnect? Sometime back we said, oh, he summoned his ministers to get the warriors from everywhere. And he also told Lakshmana that, hey, you know what, it's not that I'm just enjoying here, I've sent warriors. I've sent a word for warriors, they will be coming. And now again he's telling Hanuma that 10 days they should be here. What does that mean? Lakshmana could have cross-examined Sugriva at that point that, Sugriva, you did say this. How come now you are again saying this? That means, were you cheating me at that time? Were you making false statement that you have sent your men to get the warriors from across the world? He didn't. Sometimes when we know that there is a vulnerability, we should not press it. This entire body, if I have a boil here, that's the most vulnerable spot. If someone pokes there, it will hurt me a lot. Similarly, when you know there is a vulnerable spot and people are trying to cover that, do not press it. Anyone present there could have questioned Sugriva, but they have chosen not to do that because that would again damage his image. Once he ordered Hanuma, he tells them that within 10 days everyone should be here. All the followers, they have gone out to send the word of Sugriva to all the monkeys. Then Sugriva orders a chariot to be taken to take him and Lakshmana to Prasravanagiri. They are at Kishkinda. Now, previously, was there any such thing? Sugriva could fly anywhere in this world. That means he does not need a vehicle to move from one place to the other place. And even before, when he was inviting Vali to fight with him, he just walked. Lakshmana also walked. That means it's a walkable distance. If not, Sugriva could have taken Lakshmana on his shoulders and flew to Rama within no time. But why Sugriva has ordered a chariot to be carried by his army, his men, to Rama? We'll talk about it. So they bring a beautiful chariot. Sugriva invites Lakshmana to sit with him in that, and then the strongest men from his army, they start carrying it. If I can walk, if I can fly, why would I need someone to carry me? It is the protocol. Already the damage to his image happened. His kingdom was questioned. And before that, Lakshmana, before apologizing, he says, Sugriva, you are the most fittest person to be the king of this Kishkinda and enjoy all these comforts. That means he is re-establishing his power as king. People know that Sugriva killed Vali and they had some fight there. Sugriva was establishing his rights to be a king. Tara was looking at Angada to be the king. Finally, Sugriva won that entire political scenario. He went there and he has not done any ruling at all. He was immersed in his pleasures. He left everything, the ruling, to his ministers. So as far as his citizens are concerned, they have not seen Sugriva as a king. Suddenly Lakshmana comes and questions him. No.
Okay, sorry.
So Lakshmana said that you are not the right person. I mean, you do not have the character to be a good friend. So it is the damage to the image, always how much damage has happened to the image and how we can repair it. So look at the steps. First, Sugriva has apologized. Now Lakshmana said, you are the most humble person, just like Rama, and you are very strong, and you are the fittest person to be the king here. Is re-establishing so that the citizens do not have any questions about it. His image was repaired. Now Sugriva is further establishing it by ordering a chariot, sitting it in as a king, and then inviting Lakshmana. The chariot is being carried, and then they were holding a white umbrella on the head of Sugriva. It's a symbolism to a king. Any king had a white umbrella on his head. Anywhere we go with that protocol, right? How do we know who is important? There is some symbolism. So while Sugriva was taken on the chariot, someone was holding a white umbrella, and then they were using the manual fans to cool down. Remember, where are they? They were in a forest. Just rainy season is over. It is not summer. Do they really need the fans in the open air? In a forest? There is no need. But it is establishing again that a king should be treated like this, and Sugriva is a king. We are treating him that way. And when he comes out of his palace, all the citizens will be looking at him with the respect that he is getting. So citizens will also be impressed that, yeah, Sugriva is the king. Finally, they reach the place where Rama was. His entire army followed him. When he saw Rama, he get down from the vehicle, from the chariot. He bowed down. He touched Rama's feet with his head. That's the most humbleness anyone can show. If I put my head to someone's feet, that means I am totally obedient to that person, and I am accepting the supremacy of that person, and also I am saying that you are an enlightened soul. One way, Sugriva's image is being repaired. His army followed him, and then he is touching Rama's feet with his head. That shows army that Rama is superior person. If I respect someone very highly, and he respects someone else, how much respect I will be showing to the other person? Because my guru is respecting his guru. When I see my guru's guru, I will be respecting him too. If my guru does not respect his guru, I am not going to respect his guru. Similarly, here also, Sugriva is respected by entire army. Now, Sugriva is showing his respect to Rama. It is multifold. The entire army will give attention to what Rama says. That's why when in our real life also, when we want to give some respect to someone, we do it publicly. That way, rest of the people also give him or her respect. It is enhancing one's respect. You get the respect again back. By insulting someone, we think that we are reducing his image, but it's other way round. We are also seen with wrong intentions. People will think, oh, that guy was shouting on him. We are damaging other person's image and our image also. So better we should never insult anyone. As much as possible, let's praise. There will be at least one nature in every person to be praised. If nothing, praise the clothing, praise the residence, praise whatever it is, but praise. Don't insult. There may be 99 reasons to insult a person, but one reason to respect. Use that one reason to respect. Then all your relationships will be perfect. Then Rama lifts Sugriva and then hugs him. What if Rama did not hug him and then say, okay, Sugriva, get up, please sit? Again, the image will be bad. So, he lifted him up, hugged him and said, Sugriva, you are my friend. Please take your seat. When someone is humble or someone is surrendering to you, please do not insult any further. You have to respect that person and restore that person's image. That's what Rama has done. Sugriva respected him, Rama respected him back. Then Rama was sitting on a higher elevation place. Sugriva sat on the floor. Generally, it is the respect that we show. Whoever is at a higher level, we give them a higher level seating. And the next person. That's why we see that step type of arrangement. Even that shows who is important in that court. Even in our courts also we see judge is sitting on the elevated platform. So Rama was also sitting on an elevated platform. Sugriva sat on the floor. When Sugriva offered his prayers to Rama, immediately his entire army offered prayers to Rama. That's again establishing supremacy of Rama over all his army. Then Rama tells Sugriva how a king should be. Look at it. Lakshmana used harsh words. Rama also was upset with Sugriva. But when Sugriva came and was sitting with him, he tells Sugriva, every king, a very good king, has to balance the life. He has to first keep law and order. Second, has to earn money for the country. 3, enjoy the comforts. And you have to balance them. If any one of them is not there, you are not successful. If you ignore the first two, that is maintaining the law and order, earning money, but if you are just taking the comforts of being a king, that person is like the one who was sleeping on the branch of a tree. He can fall down anytime. There is no stability. Indirectly, he was telling Sugriva that you were not doing the first two things. You were doing only the third thing. But he never directly said that. Instead, he said, any king, any good king, or any king has these 3 responsibilities and has to balance them. So he has given the message to Sugriva, but in a very subtle way. We have to learn the same thing. Any message we have to give in a smooth fashion, effective way. The best way to do that is by telling the stories. And that's the reason we have taken Ramayana as the pivot, and that story we are discussing. Through that we are learning the values. Rama also told that, oh, if you do not balance it, you are like a person sleeping on the tree. Right away, Sugriva can make out, okay, that guy can fall down anytime. I was doing that. That means I'm set for failure. Once that message was given, then Rama asked Sugriva that it's time. Can you please help me finding Sita? Sugriva established the supremacy of Rama, and Rama could have said, Sugriva, now I'm ordering you, go start searching for Sita. A common person does that because he or she thinks that I got the power now, I have to show it. Even in the management also, this is very good for managers where you have been given that management position. You have been established already. But why do you want to show that authority? Instead, be a servant leader, saying that we have to do this job. How can I help you to succeed? I want you to do this work. And how can I help you? How can I serve you to achieve that result? That's the servant leadership. Similarly, here, Rama, everyone was first thinking that Sugriva is our king, and now Sugriva accepted Rama's supremacy, so they know Rama can order Sugriva, but still Rama did not say anything. He did not show his power. All he said was, Sugriva, can you please start searching for Sita and help me? Then Sugriva told him that I have already sent a word to the people, to the monkeys all around, to the army all around the world. They should be here any moment. I have given them just 10 days. In the meantime, all the people he had sent to get the rest of the army, they came back. And while coming back, they brought gifts for Sugriva. That is also a sign that they are accepting Sugriva as the king. If they do not accept Sugriva and show that, then how can Rama believe that these guys are really going and searching for Sita? They can all just say, okay, we are going to search for Sita. They can go sleep under a tree, eat, play, and then after 30 days come back and then say, oh, we could not find Sita. A person's sincerity in work depends on multiple factors, and one of them is the loyalty to the management, loyalty to the company. If that loyalty is not there, the person will not give 100%. That organization will not go anywhere. So, as a manager, as a leader, we have to establish the loyalty. And loyalty is two ways. The company should also be loyal to the employee, and employee will automatically be loyal to the company. Somehow, nowadays we say, oh, employment at will. The company can remove you anytime and you can leave company anytime, no hard feelings. But there are companies where they say once we give you the job, we will never take away your job. Especially recently, I don't remember that company. They were hard hit by pandemic, but the CEO said, you were with us during the good times and we are with you during the bad times. We are not removing any person. How many companies are like that? How many managements are like that? When everything is good, hunky dory, yes, we agree. We are good. You're doing very well. Let us stay together. The moment there is some challenge, we sever our ties. It is between the spouses. It is between friends, between employer and employee, all of that. Where are we going? Why can't we have that trust between them? That's why any company, any management has to show loyalty to their employees and say that we are lucky we have you here. And then employees will automatically show that loyalty. This is what I want you to implement in your family too. Show your loyalty to your spouse, loyalty to your kids. They automatically return that. And imagine how beautiful that family will be. And by bringing the gifts, they showed their loyalty, they showed their acceptance of Sugriva as the king, and also that is a proof that they have gone to the place. Right? If I say, hey, particular candy is available in North India in that place only, can you get that to me? Or I tell that person, go there. There is someone, you will have to do some work there and come back. That person gets a gift that is available only in that place to prove that he has really gone there. Here also, the people that went to summon all the army around the world, they have brought unique gifts from those places to Sugriva to prove that they have really gone, they have delivered the word. And that also lets Rama know that yes, everything is going on smoothly. After observing that, Rama was happy with the arrangements that were happening. So then all the millions of monkeys have arrived at that place. Sugriva welcomed all of them and praised them for their strength. He introduced the most important and very strong people from that army to Rama. Why? Is this not a waste of time? All he could have said is, hey, go search Sita. We are already overdue. Go, do that. It is not the case. You have to build again the loyalty and also the importance of it. When will XYZ gives me importance when I give him the importance. Simple logic. So he pulls them, all the strong people, and then says, Rama, he's so and so. His power is this. He can do this. He can do that. And also this entire army, they can go anywhere in this world. They have seen nooks and corners of this world. So they can easily find Sita. Imagine if your manager is telling his manager that this guy is very good, he's very sincere, he can deliver anything I want. You'll be so loyal to that manager and you will be working 200% to get the results. All that manager did was praising you before you to his manager. That's what Sugriva is doing here. Immediately all these guys were so happy. Man, Sugriva has given us that special treatment. Now we will do anything for Sugriva. That's one piece of it. Secondly, he is also increasing the confidence of the army. He's saying that you guys can do it. Don't doubt your abilities, because I do not doubt your abilities. I have so much of confidence in your abilities to find Sita. It's two-way. And then he says, he picks up 4 leaders from that, and each leader he sends them to one side. He finds one person called Sugriva finds Vinata. So he finds one person, Vinata, a leader. He says, you go towards east. Then he finds Angada as the leader for the party that was going towards the south. He tells them to go towards south. Similarly, he sends his father-in-law towards west, and another leader towards the north. Before sending them, whoever he was sending towards east, he told them what all the things they have to search, what they will be seeing. After what? Okay, go there, you will be seeing a golden mountain. And from there you go further, you will see this. Further, you will see man-eaters. Beyond that, it will be so dark. That's the place where very dangerous demons are. So you pass that, this comes. Similarly, to the party that was going to the north, he did the same thing. He gave minute details. North, south, everywhere. He has given the entire map of the world, and also identified the milestones or the major places that these guys have to see. Why should he say all of that? He could have just said, go towards east, find Sita, come back. You have to go to the end of the earth. You are respected as a leader only if you show your abilities and you show your knowledge. That's what Sugriva is doing. Sugriva says, you cannot bluff me. You cannot just say, oh, we went there. Then I would ask you, what did you see there? And you may bluff, thinking that I do not know anything. But I know every place. So when you go there and come back, you have to answer me the right things. That's where he's establishing that you guys cannot just go to some place, sleep there for 30 days or spend your time for 30 days, come back and then say, oh, we have seen it. I know, I can easily find out whether you have gone there or not. I know one kid, his mom was always after him to go for running, because that guy was a little healthy, if I may say, and he was not doing any exercise. He was not much worried about it, and his mother was always asking him, go, just run on the streets. At least you will see the outside world. Don't just sit at home. That guy used to go out, and by the time he comes back after exactly 1 hour, he was fully drenched with sweat. And he would say, it was so tiresome today. It was so tiresome. One day her mother saw that this guy is saying every day, and every day is so drenched. What is happening? She followed him. And she realized he was going to the next street and pouring water on him. He was just playing there for 50 minutes, and then before coming back, he was pouring some water from the water fountain on his shirt, drenching it, and coming home. If she does not know, he can bluff her. Similarly, if Sugriva has not told them that on the east, far away, you will be seeing all these things, you will be meeting this kind of people, there are beautiful women in that place, there are man-eaters there, there is a golden mountain, all of that. I did not want to name anyone here, but again, if someone is very sincere, fine, that's okay. The best part is, once you know your mistakes, that's the first step to change. Okay, so then also he decided to send Angada, Hanuma, Jambavanta and all those warriors towards the south. It is again very important for a manager to know the strengths and opportunities. He knows that they've seen Ravana taking Sita towards the south, and they also know that Ravana's city Lanka is on the south, so he has to send his best party there. At the same time, when he knows about it, why should he send other 3 parties to the 3 sides of the world? Because a leader can never take chances. What if Ravana went towards south and he knew that, oh, anyway, these guys have seen, they may tell Rama that he went to south, they can easily find me. He could have taken Sita somewhere without these guys seeing and hidden her somewhere else. And if you go with such an overconfidence that anyway he has gone to south, his city is in his city Lanka is on the south, go search only in the Lanka. Maybe that is the right thing, but can a king take chances? Never take chances in your life that will lead you to failure. The best way to succeed is to identify how can you fail. You may need 100 things to be the right way to succeed, but one thing to cause your failure. So look at what all the failure scenarios, you fix them, automatically you will go towards the success. Here also, Sugriva did not want to take chance. That's why he had sent search parties across the world. But he chose the best party to go towards south. He told everyone that you have to complete your job in 30 days and be here. If anyone exceeds 30 days, will be sentenced to death, no matter what. That means he is again establishing his authority. He is setting the time limit. as a manager, you cannot just say, hey, get this done. You should always put the time limit. And also you have to tell that person what is the reward if the work is completed within that time. What is the punishment if the work is not completed. So Sugriva told them that within 30 days you have to complete this entire search. Come back to me. If you come back to me finding Sita, you can enjoy your life rest of your life in comforts. I'm not asking anything else. Just find Sita, that's enough for us. That means he's showing the reward if they find Sita. If your manager says, man, if you complete this work within 1 month, I'm going to give 11 months of vacation to you. How could it be? You will put your 200%, 300% to get the work done successfully. So he said that you find Sita, you will have comfortable life. You don't need to do anything for your rest of life. If you do not come back within 30 days, that means you are lazy. You are not planning your time. You are not looking at the work to be done and how to complete it within the time limit I have given. Then you are punishable. You will be sentenced to death. These are all the management techniques that we should learn from this story. He sent all of them. But he asked the party that is going to the south to stay, and he took Hanuma aside because he knows how powerful Hanuma was. Hanuma is the son of wind. What is the power of wind? It can, we know how the hurricanes, right? Or that's hurricane or this? Tornadoes. Yeah, right. Tornadoes show the power of the wind.
Hurricanes also.
So that means if Hanuma is the son of that kind of a powerful god, how powerful Hanuma would be. And if someone has to fly, who has to support? The wind. That means wind will support whom from the entire army? He would support Hanuma the most. And Hanuma was also very powerful. That's why he took Hanuma aside and then said, Hanuma, I have total confidence in you. You are the one who is going to find Sita. Why did he take Hanuma aside and told him? He could have told in front of the entire army saying that, oh, I have a lot of confidence in Hanuma. I know he is the one who is going to find Sita. He is demoralizing the entire army from that. The entire army will say, fine, if Hanuma is the one who is going to find, why are you asking me to do? Let me go. They won't have any sincerity. So, as a manager, even if you know who can deliver the results, you will not reveal it in public. But at the same time, you have to give that person that importance. So you take that person aside and tell him that I have total confidence in you. You can finish it. Please go. Do it. And also tell that person why you believe that he or she can do. That is motivation for that person to do it. So similarly here he pulled Hanuma aside and said, you can do it because you are the son of wind. And wind will support you in every action that you are going to do. And also you are very strong. You are intelligent. You know how to talk. You brought Rama as my friend. So you can handle any situation anywhere. If you need to use power, you can use power. If you have to use diplomacy, you can do that. If you have to play politics, remember he played politics with Tara. Tara wanted to leave and he said, no, no, Tara, how can you leave? You have to guide Sugriva, because if Tara leaves, then her supporters will not be with Sugriva. So that means he is politically savvy too. He has all the qualities to succeed in any type of work. And because they saw Ravana going towards the south and Hanuma has all these abilities, he had made that party to go towards south. Now, Hanuma was always loyal to Sugriva. Even when he was in dire situation, Hanuma followed him. If that is the case, why did he not make Hanuma the leader of the team? Why did he make Angada as a team lead? Because again the politics, he wants to give that importance to Angada so that rest of the army will, whoever Wali supporters were there, they will say, oh, Angada got his due respect. He is next to Sugriva, so we should be loyal to Sugriva. Even though Angada is the most youngest, remember when the Wali died, Tara was saying, a small kid. And Wali was also saying, you are such a small kid. He was telling Rama, I'm leaving a small kid here, please take care of him. If he is a small kid, how can he be a leader? That too to such a powerful party where Hanuma is. Again, it is all the way Sugriva is establishing Angada as the next king and also getting entire people under his wing, the Wali's supporters also under his wing. Yet, he did not tell Angada that, hey, Hanuma is the best resource you have, he will be able to do. Then he is undermining Angada. He has to give the confidence to Angada that, hey, you are the leader, you can get it. At the same time, pull the right resource and say, please, step in. This is also telling him that Angada is too young, is not experienced. You please support him. Make the things happen. We will see how this works out going forward. Now, Rama was observing all of this. Rama observed how Sugriva ordered people, rest of the teams, how Sugriva took Hanuma aside and what he was talking to him. Until then, Rama has seen Hanuma as an intellectual who can talk very well, who can make things happen. But now he understands that Sugriva has so much faith in him and he's the he's the resource he's counting on across all these million people. It becomes Rama's responsibility also to tell Hanuma that, yes, I believe Sugriva, you are the one who was going to do. That will multiply the confidence of Hanuma and the sincerity. So Rama goes to Hanuma and then says, Hanuma, I heard all of this. I also have the same faith in you. Until now, did anyone get the narration of Sita? I said, oh, go find Sita. No one asked. How can I recognize Sita? Do you have a picture? Even now also, if you have a missing case, you go to the police, they'll say, give us a picture. I cannot just say, oh, 5 feet 3 inches, black hair, white hair, whatever it is, find them. It's searching for a needle in a haystack. But they have never asked. And even Rama did not tell them. Sugriva did not tell them. They said, oh, go, search for Sita. They knew these guys cannot find any way because Sita is not there. Sita is only on the south side. So, secondly, even if they find Sita, will Sita believe these guys? when she was in the forest with Rama and Rama went for that golden deer, a saint came begging for food. She thought he is a regular saint. She came out immediately. Ravana was in the disguise, right? So Ravana immediately showed his real personality, took away Sita. With that incident, will Sita believe anyone, any stranger? No one. Imagine within our home also, as long as everything is going on fine, everything is good. But some stranger, we opened the door, stranger came in, showed a gun and took away everything. From next time onwards, will we open the door? We will try to multiple times. We will be looking at, who is that? Tell me, okay, you look like my father, but I want to hear your voice. That's why we have all the ring bells, the cameras, and we'll be able to talk two ways. That means the trust is gone. In the humanity nowadays, the trust is gone. That's why we have so many security devices. There is one village in India where there are no doors for any of the houses. Even it is there today. What does that mean? They have trust. No one wants to take away someone else's property. If the entire world is like that, hey, I will take what is due to me, I don't want yours, then why do we need locks? Why do we need doors? As the society was progressing, previously all the people were living in forest, and then they started making their own privacy, but they were not strong. Over a period, they started constructing the house. They had doors, but no locks. Then someone stole something, they started putting the locks. And later on, even that locks, people were breaking. Then you get electronic, thumb impression, locks. Even beyond that, you want cameras monitoring the house while sleeping, while out. Why do we need all of this? Because of the lack of trust. So, Sita lost trust. Even if these guys see Sita, there is no way she can believe them, and she would not cooperate with them at all. That's why Rama takes his ring and gives it to Hanuma. Says, when you find Sita, show this, she will recognize that you are coming from me. Could he have given millions of, or at least all the four leaders, four rings? He has not done that. Generally, it should have been like that. He should give something to the rest of the leaders also, that if you find Sita, show that. But he has not done that. He has not given that ring to Angada also. He has given that ring to Hanuma. So even though Angada is proclaimed as the leader, they know Hanuma is the one who can deliver. At the same time, Hanuma has never rebellious, saying that when I have this much power, why Angada is leading it? In our life, we are always not happy because, oh, that guy who is managing me does not have any capabilities. Why am I working for him? Why can't I be the manager? Instead, whatever role is given to you, you do it. Establish it. You will get what you are due. And certain people, they are born to be leaders. Certain people, they are born to be servants. So here, Hanuma, he is born to be a servant, even though he has so many abilities. Because Hanuma's character had to show how a servant has to serve the master. Hanuma took that and he has put it to his eyes. In Hinduism, anything that is very important, very valuable. And when we receive it, we put it to our eyes like this. And that is a gesture saying that this is very important, it is very highly valuable to me. So he took it, put it to his eyes, he secured it. Then he said, okay Rama, okay Sugriva, we will go now and we will find. He never said, oh, we will now, because Sugriva said, oh, you can find Sita, and I have total confidence in him. And also Rama said, if a normal person would immediately, his arrogance goes up like this. He looks at the rest of the team saying that, hey, you know what? They have confidence in me. You guys just come. Follow me. And that guy would say, he would say to the manager, yes, I am going to do this. I am going to get these results like that. You have my confidence, right? Definitely. I am the one who can do it. That's again overconfidence. Hanuma did not say that. Hanuma said, with your blessings, I will go. Rama and Sugriva, with your blessings, I will do my best to try find Sita and get the good news to you. That is the behavior. Whereas when it is compared to the other monkey and other army that went to the three sides on the other side, when they were leaving, they said, Sugriva, don't worry. As soon as we find Ravana, we will kill him and we will get Sita here. As soon as we find Sita, next minute Sita will be here. Don't worry. We will kill all of them. We will destroy his house. We will destroy all his army. You know, I'm so powerful. I can go and do all of this. Sugriva heard it. He heard because he did not say anything. He needed them to have the confidence. And he knows those guys are not going to give. Similarly, in our management also, we have to identify people who overpromise and underdeliver. And those who promise and deliver. And those who have ability but do not know their ability. That's where we have to, as managers, we have to put our efforts to say and give them the confidence. Here, Hanuma was living just like an ordinary person. Until then, we will have one more occasion where Hanuma's real powers are restored. So, Hanuma was so humble. He said, okay, with your blessings. Similarly, anytime if a manager tells you that you can do it, I have total confidence in you, then you say, with your guidance, I will get this work done. So you are giving the credit to the manager also, making that person happy. In turn, manager will give you the happiness. I have heard so many employees saying that, oh, my manager has so much confidence in me. I can deliver it. I have talked to my teammates. I will deliver it. And as long as you are saying, I am delivering it, even though manager does not express it, he will have that. Because he is responsible to his management. So whatever his team completes and delivers, it is his responsibility and it is shown as his achievement. Whatever Intel does, it is shown as the CEO's achievement. They are not putting my name, someone else's name on the paper. Instead, they say, under the leadership of this CEO, Intel has done this. So why not we give that respect to the manager? So always remember, when your manager is giving you some work, just say, with your guidance, I will complete. So if you miss something also, he will be ready to help you out. That's what Hanuma said. And they started going towards the south. And then Angada is leading them. Rest all the, it was almost the 30 days were over. Then all the parties, such parties except the south party, have returned. They came back and they said, we have searched everywhere, every nook and corner, every inch. We searched for Sita, but we could not find. Was it a surprise to Sugriva and Rama? No. So they said, okay, fine, you have done a lot of work, go take some rest. There ends the story of the three parties that went to east, west and north. The south party has not come yet. The rest of the story goes with the south side party. Hanuma, Angada, they went everywhere. Even now you can see Vindhya Hills in Indian map. So they go to the Vindhya Hills, they search. Vindhya Hills are so big that there are so many caves. They were searching everywhere. When we are searching for something, no logic works. If you are searching for a dog which is 3 feet, we will be looking into a small hole also. Because we say, oh, maybe. Why would Ravana put Sita into a dark cave? Ravana took her to enjoy. So he would do everything to give her the comforts, impress upon her. If you want to impress upon a girl, what would you do? You will give the best of best things to her rather than putting in a small cave somewhere. But logic never works when we are panicking and we want to find something absolutely. So they were searching every cave, going in, searching dark caves everywhere. And because Vindhya was such a huge mountain range, the entire time was gone there itself. Finally, they were so tired, they were hungry, they were thirsty because they wanted to find Sita. They were not taking any rest. As a leader, Angada should have given them the rest. Because he is not matured enough to be a leader, he was not giving them the rest. They said, oh, we'll search throughout. Go, 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 go. Search, 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 search. Whereas the other parties, they were searching during the day, taking rest in the night, eating and all of that. But this party was not eating, not taking rest, so they were burnt. By the time they completed searching entire Vindhya, they were burnt. They wanted to drink water, but they could not find anything. In the meantime, they went to a place which was totally abandoned. It was barren. No living thing was there. That means it was totally a desert. That's where they started thinking, we need to have water, we need to have food. But why is that place a barren? There was a story in Ramayana for that. There was one sage. That place was very fertile. There were so many animals, trees, fruits, everything. It was a very fertile place. This sage had a 16-year-old kid who died in that place. He was very angry with the place and said, because my son died in this place, I am cursing this place that it is not fit for any living being. All the living beings have fled, and whatever could not live, like trees, they died. What do we need to learn from that story? When this entire party is searching so intensely, why Valmiki had put that story all of a sudden? He wanted to teach us that our anger, if not controlled properly, can create havoc. We should not punish anyone more than if the situation demands. Here his son died, whatever may be the reason, and he is a sage, that means he is an enlightened person. But he got so attached to his son that he cursed that entire land. We should love everyone, but we should not be so attached to anything or anyone, because there is no guarantee of anything. So that guy should have said, okay, my son, his time is over, he went. Instead, he cursed. How many of us are like that? If our beloved ones is suffering on the bed, we shout at the doctors. If my son does not get the rank, I shout at the teachers. We find reasons to blame someone else rather than taking the responsibility. Here that sage could have taken the responsibility of his son, saying that I did not safeguard him. Instead, he blamed the entire land and he made it a barren land. From that story, we have to remember the same thing. We may be angry, we have to control the anger. We cannot punish anyone beyond the optimum punishment. And thirdly, we cannot blame anyone. We have to take it on our own. We have to own the responsibility for our own failures. When we take the responsibility, we take the pride in our success. We should also take responsibility for our failures, but we do not do that. So remember that. Whether you take pride in your success or not, it is very important to take the responsibility for the failures. And that only establishes the good leadership. With that, next week we'll talk about what they have encountered. They needed water. How did they get water? What are the observations that they have made? How did they find water? When we are in stress and we need something, as I said, we do not have any logic. But how they have not panicked, how Hanuma used his intelligence even in such dire state to find what they wanted, what is needed at that time. So we will cover that in the next week. Until then, any questions? So I see there is a question. What is that?
No, that was me.
Okay, you were saying that. Okay. So, any questions? If not, thank you so much for joining us. And it's always pleasure expressing my views. If anyone do not understand, if anyone is not accepting it or do not agree with me, please let me know. Always, as we said, Vali asked Rama why he thought that Rama is not the right person, he has not done the right thing, and he questioned Rama. So I can be Vali or I can be Rama. So please ask me questions if you do not agree with me something, or if you agree with me, ask more questions, so that way my knowledge can be improved. Take care. Thank you so much. Enjoy your rest of the time wherever you are, and we'll see you next week in KP's Story Time.